Hey, what's happening, Roland? Well, today's Friday, and today's the update for the week, and this is also Christmas week. Tomorrow is Christmas. This is Christmas Eve right now. But look how nice and warm and sunny it is. Hey, this is the time to go fishing here in Florida. You know, the rest of the country's in a real cold front situation, and we're nice 70 and 80 degree water down here, and it's we're really catching a lot of bass right now. I'm catching a whole lot of fish on the headwaters right now, and I'm using big cast nets to catch my own bait, and that's one big thing. Now, tomorrow, I was going to go to Clewiston, Florida to celebrate Christmas with my daughter, Laura, and my son, Scott. However, I just got word they have COVID. They've both tested positive, I guess, for COVID. At least Laura has, and I think Scott has, but I'm not sure. So I might just go over and drop the presents off. You know, Laura has 3 little boys, and I got them bicycles. I got them all kind of stuff. I've shopped all week, and I'm looking forward to big Christmas, but I don't know if I can even have Christmas with them, unfortunately, with everybody testing positive right now. So that's kind of a problem. But I am getting ready for a big trip, because Monday morning I'm headed over to Headwaters, and I'll be guiding all the way up through Christmas, well, for New Year's, always a New Year's. One of the things I do is I catch my own bait. I take a big cast net like this. Shiners are $2 a dozen, so that's pretty expensive. I practice all the time, get my nets ready to go. Practice makes perfect when you're talking about net throwing for a shiner. And what I do is I do the triple load system, and I think we got a pretty good situation here with the net. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, boys, gonna swing it back, come back like this, and okay, pretty good net. Anyway, I'm throwing cast nets, practicing all the time, getting ready. I'm going to take you inside real quick, and I'm going to show you something about my boat. I'm getting my boat all ready, and it's a big deal getting ready for a shiner trip. This is my shop, of course. You see my airboats and my little four-wheelers that I use all around the property. I got John boats over here, some more swamp buggies. I got all kind of a big woodworking shop right now. That's been a big deal. That's been a big factor. Okay, let's walk inside. I'm gonna walk back here and I'll show you. Well, another thing, with Christmas coming on, I'm doing just a whole lot of work with these turkey calls. I got my shop set up here, and I'm doing a lot of work with these turkey calls. I have my Bridgeport mill. You know, I build all these turkey calls after the Neil Cost special. This is the original Neil Cost, of course. But I build calls, and I got dozens of them here. That's a little higher. Let's see about it. This is now a little lower. Hey, I got these turkey calls, and I hand make them, of course, but I also engrave and personalize each one of them, and I put a note on the top on where the wood comes from and the whole history of the box call and my association with Neil Cost. And then, anyway, I sell them for $200. Not a bad deal. If you want one, it's Judy M at fishingwithrolandmartin.com. Anyway, let's go over to the boat. Let's go look at something. I just want to show you something good over here. Here's my assistant, Sean. He's busy getting things ready. And so, over here at the boat, we have a big deal going on. You saw me install my turret system by the right height, and boy, you talking about something that's working good. This turret system is really working fine. It rotates around as I need to look. I'm looking at the edges of the hydrilla, and I can see where the bass are, whether I'm shiner fishing or whether I'm just lure fishing. But that turret system allows me to steer however direction I want to steer, and then take the foot pedal and adjust the actual transducer to the wall of hydrilla that I'm looking on. I'm looking for fish, I'm looking for a drop off, I'm looking for a stomp, I'm looking for schools of bait, I'm looking for fish themselves. I can do all that with a turret system. It's really working out. Now, another thing that I've done is I've gone into another kind of reel. You see me using these for shiners now. You've seen me use my favorite rod and reel. That's just a favorite reel. The well, I forgot what series it is, but that's a favorite reel and a favorite rod. Okay, that's fine. Now here's another combination. Here's a favorite rod, but this is a new B.A.S.S Pro Shop reel, and here's what the deal is with this. Listen, it's got a clicker, and so now when the shiner takes it out, you can hear that. That's a big deal, having that clicker. So that's something I'm going to try with. That's another big deal. You know, shinering is not an easy thing. You got to really have some background on how to keep the fish alive. And I do. I have big tanks that I keep hundreds of baits alive. I use oxygen, for example. And this will last a couple days, an oxygen tank like that, with a special stone that diffuses the oxygen into the water. And so now I can really keep a lot of shiners, far more than you could with just, say, regular water with the regular aeration. The oxygen system allows you to keep twice as many shiners. Now, once you start keeping twice as many shiners, you have to treat the water. Here's a stuff called Better Bait, and you put this in the water along with regular salt. Rock salt is a big deal. And then you have to kind of anesthetize the fish, because when you get a whole lot of them together, they get too active and jump around and hurt each other. So I either put clove oil in the water, or in this case, tricane, which is good, and there's another compound called quinaldine. Anyway, I put a few drops in, and it kind of calms the fish down. They just get sedated a little bit, and they still swim around. They're still all right. They still catch bass, but you can put more of them in the tank. Now, see what I try to do. Here's the whole big deal about my shiner fishing right now. Shiners are real expensive. So most people that go out there, they only get 3 or 4 dozen shiners. They don't have any to chum with, because 3 or 4 dozen shiners cost them $100, $25 a dozen, $24 a dozen. Well, I get hundreds of shiners because I get my own, and it's perfectly legal. I can throw the net at Headwaters, and I get hundreds of them in my tank. I have now enough to chum with. I can actually take a couple and throw them out in different directions, kind of like I'm saltwater fishing for tuna fish or something. And bam, bam, a couple bass hit over here, and they bam, bam, a couple fish over here. I finally get a whole school of bass around the boat because they're all eating the shiners I'm throwing out to them. I'm chumming with them. Boy, you're talking about 3 or 4 rods going crazy. 3 or 4 rods are going down all the time. Sometimes I get 4 on at a time. So it can be really some heavy-duty, fast action. And with that, every school of fish seems to have a big giant one hanging in there. Most of them are 3 pounds or 4 pounds. Nice, big, solid bass that hit shiners. But out of every school, there's usually that 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 pounder kind of hanging around as well. So we catch a number of really big fish in the process. Not every day, but we try to, and our goal is to catch an 8 pounder every day. That's kind of what we're trying to do. Well, anyway, that's what I got my boat all set up. I just talked last week about I was down in Venice, Louisiana with Jimmy Houston, and my engine blew up. Well, it didn't blow up. The harness broke on some wires back there, and the engine wouldn't start. Jimmy had to tow me for 5 or 6 hours. He and this other guy, Mike Fournette, who's a guide down in Venice, Louisiana, he helped tow me as well. Old-time friend. He's helped me out over the years. He's just a great guy, and I love to fish with Mike. He's just a wonderful guy. But anyway, I finally got in. It was way late at night. It was those mosquitoes had eaten us up, and I took it down to B.A.S.S Pro Shop, and they jumped right on it, put a new wiring harness in. I'm all ready to go now. I'm ready to go. In the meantime, I've ordered a great big giant boat. I've ordered a 2072 Grizzly. Now, that's the biggest aluminum boat that Tracker makes, and it's a Grizzly series, but it's heavy-duty aluminum, 100 gauge, and it's 8 feet wide, 20 feet long. It's just the biggest boat you've ever seen in the world. And I have a great big live well, like a 70-gallon live well. I'll be able to put plenty of shiners in. I'll have a big Ultrex trolling motor like this one. I'll be able to hold a spot lock, just hold in a position, and throw my shiners or throw my worms or throw my plastic. You know, I do as much lure fishing as I do shiner fishing. I'm just telling you that this right now with the cold weather is the perfect time to catch a big fish on a shiner. So I'm kind of concentrated on that. But I probably caught, for the years total, I probably caught more fish on artificials than I have on shiners. So it's just, I do both. I do both deals. Just that this is the time to catch a monster on a shiner. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm all set up for that. My boat's ready to go. I got all my shiner paraphernalia ready to go. Christmas is going to be a kind of a little short-lived this year with everybody with the COVID, but I can hardly wait to get back over into my fishing game which will back over at Headwaters just in the next couple days. So folks, hey, there's nothing better than anticipating those big fish, and that's what I'm doing. I can't hardly sleep at night. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I keep thinking those 8-pound, 9-pound, 10-pound bass that I see over there. I catch a few of them, but I just want to catch more. And the anticipation factor is so good. When you come to Florida, particularly when the weather's good like this, you know you got a shot at a trophy. And that's a shot is like right now. This is the perfect time to catch a big fish. Well, anyway, hey, thanks for watching my my YouTube. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate all the support you give me. And I'm going to try to pass on a few things or two and show you how to catch a fish in the process. Thanks for watching.